Wake up or give up. The moment that determines the rest of your life after 65. What would you do if, each morning, someone handed you a sum equivalent to 30 more years of life? Would you use it deliberately? Or let it slip away like another meaningless number in a routine day? This isn't a rhetorical question. I'm talking about the first 5 minutes after you wake up, the most valuable asset that most people over the age of 65 are carelessly wasting. I'm not asking what medication you took this morning, or what your blood pressure reading was, or what your doctor said at your last visit. I'm asking, how did you wake up today? Because your answer reveals far more than your morning routine. It tells me everything I need to know about your strategy for the rest of your life. I've worked with high net worth individuals, people who ran companies, managed portfolios, and understood compound interest, opportunity cost, and long-term investment better than anyone. But even among them, few realized they were currently making the wrong investment, not with money, but with their longevity. They believed aging is natural, that decline is inevitable, that every morning is just another morning. No, that is not the case. The truth is, the strategy you wake up with today will become the reality you live in 5 years from now. Let's look directly at what I call your biological financial dashboard. Each morning, your blood thickens from dehydration. Without proper hydration, your heart is forced to work harder, like a stock facing margin pressure with no liquidity buffer. Without protein within 30 minutes of waking, your body begins withdrawing from your muscle reserves, a process called catabolism. You are, in essence, consuming yourself. If you don't move gently, your joint fluid becomes viscous. Your joints begin operating like an unlubricated company engine, on the verge of breakdown. If you don't recall yesterday, don't mentally reconnect, your neural pathways weaken. You're quietly drawing down your memory bank with no plans to replenish it. You don't need lab results or fancy medical tech to measure this. All I need is to observe how someone over 65 begins their morning, and I'll know if they'll need a wheelchair at 73. Or if they'll still be climbing stairs at 80. The issue is not that you don't know. The issue is that you assume waking up the same way as yesterday doesn't change anything. But you forget. What you repeat each day becomes your lifestyle. And your lifestyle is either an asset or a liability. So what are you depositing into your morning? Neglect, laziness, urgency, caffeine, or warm water, conscious breathing, mindful movement, a single line of gratitude? Let me be clear, this is not philosophy. This is a fundamental principle recognized by both financial and medical sciences. Anything that starts with strategy has the potential to compound. Anything that begins in chaos is guaranteed to lose. So ask yourself, do you want the remainder of your life to generate returns? Or losses? It all begins with 5 minutes. And with one decision: to wake up and take control, or to wake up and drift. If this resonates with you, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. Because what I'll be sharing next isn't motivational fluff. It's a framework for managing your health after 65, the way you once managed your wealth. Coming up, wake like a Shaolin, breath and hydration as your first biochemical investment. Where you'll learn how to begin each day with the highest rate of biological return. Now, a question for your reflection. Leave your answer in the comments below. What do you believe has the greatest impact on your longevity after 65? A. What your doctor says and the medication you take. B. What you do in the first 5 minutes of your morning. I'm waiting for your answer. Because if you've read this far, I know one thing for certain. You were never the kind of person who gives up. 1. Wake like a Shaolin, breath and water. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, what is the first thing you'll do? If your answer is, have coffee, you're making the wrong investment. If it's, check my phone, you're spending mental energy before your body has even come online. If it's, lie there for a few more minutes, then get up reluctantly, you've just missed the most valuable window of your day. While most people assume that waking up is simply the act of opening their eyes, those who understand long-term health and longevity know this. Waking up is a ritual, a transition, a new agreement with life itself. And the first clause of that agreement is always the same: water and breath. Why water, before coffee, before food, even before your first spoken word? While you sleep, your body never stops working. Your liver filters blood, your heart pumps, your brain processes memories, your skin loses moisture. All of this happens silently, without pause. And by the time morning comes, you wake up in a state of mild dehydration, and you don't even know it. Your blood has thickened. Your blood pressure fluctuates. Your heart must work harder to push that blood through your system. And instead of helping your body recover, you start your day by making things worse with coffee, cold water, or worse, nothing at all. When the primary pump, your heart, is already under stress. You don't add more pressure, you reduce it. And a glass of warm water is the simplest, most effective, and most overlooked way to do exactly that. The right hydration formula after age 65. Immediately after waking, while still sitting on your bed or before entering the bathroom, drink a glass of warm water. Ideally 35 to 40 degrees Celsius, 95 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Not too hot, not cold. You may add the juice of 1/4 fresh lemon or a thin slice of ginger. Depending on your condition, the ideal quantity is about 200 to 300 milliliters. Sip slowly, in small sips. Do not chug. Keep your body calm and centered. Sit still. Breathe deeply. Close your eyes if needed. Drink as if performing a meditative act that welcomes the new day. This is not a trivial routine. It is a message to your entire biological system. I am awake. I am ready. I support you, my heart, liver, brain, and kidneys, in doing your job today. Shaolin and breath, not martial arts, but the art of living. Have you ever wondered how Shaolin monks, even into old age, move gracefully, remain physically agile, and mentally sharp? The secret isn't in the punches or their steps across rooftops. It lies in how they begin their day, with breath. It's no coincidence that in Eastern tradition, breath is considered the first energy of life. You can fast for 30 days. Survive without water for 3 days, but without breath? You're gone in 3 minutes. That's why, right after your warm glass of water, you need to spend 30 to 60 seconds breathing with intention. The biological reset breath. A simple practice for those over 65. 1. Sit upright. Place your hands on your lower abdomen. Close your eyes. 2. Inhale deeply through your nose for a count of 4. Feel your belly rise. 3. Hold your breath for 2 counts, stay relaxed. 4. Exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. Feel your belly fall. 5. Repeat 5 cycles. In just 60 seconds. This breathing practice can help stabilize blood pressure. Activate the parasympathetic nervous system to bring calm. Lower cortisol levels, the hormone responsible for early aging, and improve cerebral circulation. Giving you mental clarity without the need for coffee. This isn't yoga. This is biological ignition, and if you skip it, you pay the price with a day thrown off balance both physically and mentally. Why do 95% of people over 65 skip this ritual? Because they think, it's just water, what's the big deal? Because they view breathing as automatic rather than a skill worth training. And most importantly, because no one has ever taught them that longevity doesn't begin with medication. It begins with how you breathe. If you belong to the 5% who embrace this, congratulations. You've just discovered one of the most powerful entry points into a strategy for long, healthy living. Tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes, don't rush out of bed. Sit up slowly. Drink your water as if you were offering gratitude to your heart. Take in that first breath of the day as though you're reinvesting in your own life. Because health is not a gift. It is a power, executed each morning, through every sip of water. Every conscious breath. In the next section, I'll share with you the secret of 60 seconds of morning movement, something I call your daily physical financial report. It is the second step in building your compound biological interest rate. And in safeguarding the independence that defines your final decades. 2. 60 seconds of movement, your body's daily financial statement. Have you ever considered submitting a financial statement each morning, not to your accountant, but to your own body? Not measured in dollars or spreadsheets, but in the quality of your very first movements after waking. If longevity is a long-term investment, then how you move each morning is the earliest indicator of whether you're making a deposit or a withdrawal from your physical account. Did you know that just 60 seconds of mindful movement in the morning can forecast the health of your joints, nervous system, and even your mental clarity, not just for the day ahead, but for years to come? Much like finance, early signs of physical risk rarely manifest suddenly. They build quietly, an unstable step, a momentary stumble, a brief dizziness when rising from bed. These are your unrecorded liabilities. One day, they can erupt into full-blown physical bankruptcy, a fall, a fracture, degeneration, or psychological imbalance. But the good news is, you can intervene. No medical equipment, no gym membership, just 60 seconds of conscious movement. A balance sheet for your biological systems. After 65, your body no longer runs on youthful momentum. Every movement is a collaboration between your nervous system, muscles, joints, and spatial awareness. Yet many older adults start their day as if they were still 20, jumping out of bed, dragging their feet to the kitchen, unaware that such careless startups are silently damaging their biological structure each morning. Imagine your circulatory system as a river behind a closed gate throughout the night. Blood flow slows, limbs become heavy, joints temporarily idle. If you leap out of bed without releasing the valves, what happens? A sudden surge of blood forces its way through constricted vessels. Your heart isn't yet primed to pump hard. Your brain is under-oxygenated. Your nervous system is mildly shocked. You feel dizzy. Your musculoskeletal system stiffens. You feel tight, heavy, unsteady. All of this can be prevented with a ritual so simple. It's almost absurd. Stand up and give your body 60 seconds of informed movement. This is not exercise. It's your body's financial check-in. I call it activating biological cash flow. Just like a CEO reviews reports before making decisions, you, the investor in your own longevity, must audit your energy reserves each morning. Not in numbers, but in motion. Wake up. Place your feet on the floor. Stand upright. No rush. No dragging. Inhale deeply. Raise your arms overhead, opening the chest. Feel your lungs expand like bellows of life. Exhale slowly as your arms float back down. Gently roll your shoulders backward 5 times. Then forward 5 times. Each rotation a nod to your musculoskeletal allies. Next, turn your neck left, right, down, and slightly up. No forcing, just release. Your body knows what's enough. Finally, rise onto your toes and gently pump your heels up and down 10 times. This deceptively simple movement is a natural, secondary heart pump, pushing blood from your lower extremities back to the heart, waking you up better than coffee. You've just completed a biological cycle. A full body audit, without machines or charts. Based on how you feel during these movements, you'll know if your energy is in surplus or in deficit. Where does it hurt? What's tight? Does your body cooperate or resist? These are vital signals. The sooner you recognize them, the sooner you can make adjustments, before your body sends a bankruptcy notice in the form of disease. I once asked a 72-year-old man, a former CEO of a billion-dollar company, what he did first thing every morning. He replied, I check my email. I told him, wrong account. I showed him the 60-second routine. 3 months later, he called to say he had never felt so clear-headed. He slept better, walked more fluidly, and most importantly, he felt alert even before his first cup of coffee. That's not magic. That's biology. A formula anyone can apply, if they choose to commit to themselves. You don't need a gym. You don't need a trainer. All you need is 1 square meter beside your bed. And 1 minute for yourself. If you feel you don't even have a minute, ask yourself honestly. Am I managing my time, or am I being managed by it? Because true investors know, the smallest, most consistent investments yield the greatest returns. There's a term in medicine I call compound biological interest. It refers to the long-term impact of daily micro-actions. The person who performs 1 minute of morning movement may feel nothing on day 1. But after 3 months, their gait stabilizes. After 6 months, they no longer need to brace themselves when standing up. After 1 year, they climb stairs without a rail. After 5 years, they're the only one in their group of peers still grocery shopping, exercising, and traveling independently. That's the power of regular reinvestment. And if you think afternoon workouts are enough, remember, your body doesn't need intensity in the morning. It needs notification, a gentle cue. We're starting a new day. Let's work together. Skip this cue, and you skip the opportunity to synchronize your biological systems. Consider these 60 seconds your first market transaction of the day. Your health market opens with positivity. Each breath, each heel raise, is a deposit into your nervous, musculoskeletal, circulatory, endocrine, and emotional accounts. Never underestimate small things, because small things build powerful seniors. 3. Early protein intake, cellular-level anti-aging investment. Most individuals over the age of 65 understand the importance of eating a balanced diet. However, very few fully grasp that timing is just as critical as nutritional content. Among all macronutrients, protein is the one you must prioritize early, within the first 30 minutes after waking. Why is this timing so crucial? Because after a long night of fasting, your body enters a natural catabolic state, a process of muscle breakdown for energy. In the absence of external nutrients, your body is forced to withdraw capital from its existing muscle mass to sustain vital functions. This process is silent, painless, but if repeated every morning, it gradually leads to loss of muscle mass, reduced strength, limb weakness, and a significantly higher risk of falls. Put differently, if you're not consuming protein early, you are essentially spending your own muscle, like unknowingly drawing from your retirement fund day after day. A 2021 study from the University of Arkansas found that older adults who consumed 25 to 30 grams of protein with breakfast experienced 40% less muscle loss compared to those with low-protein breakfasts. Remarkably, the protein-rich group did not rely on intense exercise routines. The timing of protein intake alone slowed natural muscle degradation significantly. So what are the common mistakes? Eating refined carbohydrates, such as bread, pastries, white porridge, or sugary cereals, causes blood sugar to spike and crash, leading to fatigue, hand tremors, and energy dips throughout the morning. Drinking milk without a complementary source of real protein offers little benefit, since the body's ability to absorb milk protein declines significantly after age 65. Others tend to delay eating for 2 to 3 hours after waking, leaving the body in a prolonged catabolic state, unknowingly breaking down its own muscle tissue. Instead, consider the first 30 minutes after waking as a golden window for protein investment. This is when your body is most sensitive to nutrients, and each gram of protein functions like a compound interest investment in your physical longevity. You can begin with 1 boiled egg, a small portion of shredded steamed chicken breast, half a cup of plain Greek yogurt with chia seeds, a low-sugar protein shake, if you're not fond of savory foods in the morning. It doesn't require much, but it must be timed right. Think of it this way: each morning, you're making a small deposit into your muscle account, and the dividends are resilience, independence, and the ability to live actively on your own terms for years to come. A 68-year-old gentleman who adopted the early protein rule once told me, "I no longer feel mid-morning hunger, and I don't need to brace against walls to get up anymore. My body feels like it has a solid inner cushion. You don't need to wait until sarcopenia, knee instability, or a referral to physical therapy forces you to act. Start with your first meal, when every cell is still listening. Because here's the truth. You're the CEO of your body. And every morning is the first board meeting between you and your biological systems. Begin that meeting with the right capital, high-quality protein, delivered on time." 4. Loosening the joints, unlocking the door to longevity each morning. Imagine your body after a long night's sleep as a house that has been shut down, lights off, doors closed, no movement in the hallways. Every internal pipeline, from blood vessels and nerves to joints and connective tissues, enters a state of dormancy. And when you open your eyes in the morning, the most important question is not, "What should I eat today?" but rather, "Have I reactivated the very joints that allow me to move freely through this life?" Here is a truth rarely acknowledged. Morning joint stiffness is not an inevitable sign of aging. It is an early warning signal of circulatory stagnation and underlying inflammation. Many individuals over the age of 65 wake up with a sense of heaviness, tightness in the neck and shoulders, creaking knees, ankles stiff as if frozen. They often dismiss these sensations as just part of getting older. But in reality, these are red flags. They signal that your joints are lacking circulation, lubrication, and, most importantly, attention. Science refers to this as morning stiffness, a phenomenon triggered when synovial fluid becomes viscous, blood flow is sluggish, and connective tissues are inadequately engaged. It's akin to forcing open a door that hasn't been used in years. Rusted hinges groan. The frame resists. And only after repeated, gentle effort does it begin to move. Your joints behave the same way. If you fail to gently mobilize them each morning, sooner or later, they will seize. The good news is this: you do not need painkillers, physical therapy sessions, or sophisticated exercise equipment. What you do need is just 2 minutes of mindful, gentle joint lubrication, either while still sitting on the bed or immediately after standing. Start from the top and work your way down. A full body circuit designed to unblock and awaken every joint. Neck rotations. Slowly turn your head left to right. Then gently tilt forward and backward, holding each position for 5 seconds. Don't force, just release. Shoulder rolls. Rotate your shoulders backward 5 times. Then forward 5 times. Each circle sends blood to the soft tissues surrounding your scapula. Knee and ankle activation. Lift your left knee and rotate the ankle 5 times. Then switch sides. These 2 areas are among the most degeneration-prone in seniors. Calf pump. Lift your heels slowly and lower them back down. Repeat 10 times. This simple move reactivates your lower leg venous pump, sending blood back to your heart and jump-starting circulation. With this short sequence, you've just unlocked your longevity gateway. A body that moves stiffly cannot remain independent. And without independence, quality of life begins to decline. But if you dedicate just 2 minutes each morning to gently oil your joints, you are, quietly but powerfully, rewriting your future in a way that no medication can replicate. And remember, aging is not defined by how many years you've lived, but by how many days you've stopped moving fluidly. If your motions are smooth, you are still young. If you can walk without support, you are still free. And if you loosen your joints each morning, you are already unlocking the door to a longer, more vibrant life. 5. Breathing, the nervous system's reset button. Even after you've hydrated, loosened your joints, and initiated gentle movements, there remains one critical element that many overlook: the breath. Breathing is the only bodily function that can be either voluntary or involuntary. This dual nature makes it a powerful bridge between the autonomic nervous system and conscious awareness. Each morning, if you do not deliberately connect with your breath, you're allowing your day to unfold under the control of habit and stress, rather than intention and presence. For individuals over 65, slow, deep, and intentional breathing is key to activating the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's recovery mode. This transition moves you out of the fight or flight response and into a rest and digest state. The results are far-reaching: enhanced calmness, improved sleep, lowered blood pressure, stabilized heart rate, better digestion, and perhaps most importantly, a slowing of age-related neural decline. You do not need a meditation guru, Tibetan bells, or a special cushion. What you need is just 60 seconds to log back into yourself. Consider practicing the scientifically supported 4-2-6 breathing technique to help regulate your nervous system. Sit upright with your hands gently resting on your lower abdomen. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Inhale through your nose to a count of 4, feeling your belly expand like a rising wave. Hold the breath for 2 counts, not forcefully, but with ease. Exhale through your mouth to a count of 6, slowly and steadily, as if releasing a quiet stream of pressure. Repeat this cycle 5 times. This is not simply meditation. It is executive-level regulation, a strategic command center for your entire day. Many older adults have told me, "I wake up feeling anxious, disoriented, or easily irritable." Yet after just 1 week of practicing the 4-2-6 breath each morning, they report something profoundly simple: breathing is the first sign of reclaiming control. Because if you do not guide your breath will reflect whatever is guiding you, be it anxiety, fear, or urgency. The good news is, you can reset that, starting with the very first breath of the morning. 6. Recollection. Mental exercise for the aging mind. Have you ever wondered why, in your younger years, you would wake up each morning feeling excited to start the day, yet now you find yourself pulling the blanket over your head, reluctant to rise? It's not simply aging, it's mental fatigue. It's the quiet erosion of purpose, the fading of morning meaning. We are often told to look forward, not backward. But after the age of 65, there is one habit, seemingly contrary to that advice, that can profoundly improve your mental and emotional health. intentional recollection. Not to dwell in the past. Not to feel regret, but to reignite the parts of your brain responsible for belief, love, and connection. Aspects of the self often dimmed by the noise and burdens of modern aging. Neuroscience refers to this practice as positive recall, the selective remembrance of emotionally uplifting memories. Just 2 minutes each morning can activate neural circuits related to emotional stability, social bonding, and existential purpose, all of which are deeply linked to long-term mental well-being. Try this simple morning ritual. After you've finished your breathing exercise, close your eyes, place a hand over your heart, and gently ask yourself, what did I once dream of? Maybe it was the first time your grandchild called you grandma or grandpa. Maybe it was a quiet morning sipping tea with your lifelong partner. Maybe it was the wind in your face as you rode a bicycle at 18. Feeling free and infinite, let the memory return to you. Breathe with it. Let your heart smile, even in silence. Why does this matter? Because after 65, the mind is vulnerable to a default state of negativity. Turn on the news, it's distressing. Talk to friends. They often speak of illness or loss. Look to the future, it feels uncertain. If you don't actively feed your mind with uplifting energy, it will absorb anxiety from the environment. Over time, this drains motivation, dulls curiosity, and steals joy. Proper recollection is how you water the roots of your inner resilience. It's a mental workout. Yoga for your memories. Vitamins for your emotional core. I once guided a 70-year-old widow who had lost her drive to wake up in the morning. She struggled with mild depression and insomnia. I didn't prescribe medication. Instead, I gently asked her, each morning before opening your eyes, recall the last time he held your hand, and remember how that made you feel. 1 week later, she messaged me, I'm sleeping better. And in the morning, I rise not because I have to, but because I want to feel that memory again. No pharmaceutical can deliver that kind of healing. Only your brain, and your heart, can summon life back into you, if you allow them. Remember, memory is not just a mirror to look back, it is a doorway forward. And when you choose to open it each morning, you'll discover that the past is not something to mourn. It's the fuel that powers your longevity. The world often tells you, aging means weakness, sluggishness, and decline, but that is a lie, repeated so many times that you may have started to believe it. So, what is the truth? Aging is just a number. Your mindset is a choice. And each morning, you have the power to choose how you live again. You can begin your day in fatigue, mental fog, and physical stiffness, letting your body drift on the inertia of old habits. Or, you can start your day like a calm Shaolin monk, awake, intentional, and deeply aware that, my body is not weak, it is simply waiting for me to lead it. You can dismiss 5 minutes of your morning, blaming a busy schedule or forgetfulness. But in doing so, you may gradually lose 10 years of vitality, 10 years of independence, 10 years of strength. Or, you can honor those 5 short minutes and reclaim 30 years of clarity, 30 years of agency, 30 years of life lived without needing support. Not sure where to begin? Don't wait for perfection. Don't wait for motivation. Just begin. One small ritual, one mindful movement, one deep breath, one moment of gratitude. That alone is your first anchor, planted in the soil of each new day. If something in your heart resonated while reading this, leave a comment and subscribe to our channel. We'll continue walking beside you, offering insights from science and the art of mindful living, so you can stay strong, steady, and fully alive after 65. Thank you for being here. May your next morning begin like that of an awakened warrior.